after From Here to Eternity, but before Marty, there was Bad Day at Black Rock and Spencer Tracy. I mean, what was the first time working with Spencer Tracy experience?
Woo, Lordy! I was doing a scene where I've already pushed him down off that hill. Now we pick it up from, actually I hadn't done it yet, you know, but then he comes into town again, and he comes in with that one arm stuck away, you know, and he started across. And one of the things that threw me, when everybody was saying, you mind if we watch this scene? You mind if we watch? Well, I understand you're a pretty fair country actor, and so on and so forth. Yeah, no, please, by all means, you know. Robert Ryan, everybody. And now he gets out of the car and starts toward me. And all I could see were 2 Academy Awards coming right to me. I forgot my name, I forgot I was born, I forgot everything. You know, it was just one of those things, and suddenly, pow, there he was, and I said, well, if it ain't McCready, the All-American Roadhound. We finished the scene, boom, bam, bim, and he walked in, and the director yelled, cut, print, okay, let's go to here. And everybody's going, okay, kid. And Mr. Tracy came out. And he looked me in the eye and he said, you know something? I like you. I said, when you look at people and when you work with people, you look them right in the eye, don't you? And I said, isn't that what you're supposed to do, sir? And that was it. From then on, we became buddies. And when I went to make Marty one day, read for Marty, I was still working on that picture with Spencer, and he said, hey, where the hell are you going? He said, if anybody leaves here early, he said, it's me. I'm the star. And I said, thank you. He's just kidding, of course, but I told him, I said I had to go down and read. He said, read? You don't read anymore. He says, you're a star. I said, out of your mouth to God's ears. And he said, wanted to know what it's all about, and I told him the story of Marty and everything else. Oh, don't worry about it. It'll be a cinch. You go ahead and do it. Don't worry, you're going to get it. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. The next morning I came back. The whole thing is another story in itself. But I came back the next morning, I'm smiling. He said, you got the part, huh? Yes, sir. I'm done. Ah, that's a boy. I knew you'd do it. And the next year I beat him out for Academy Award.
Say anything to you at the Oscars after you came down with
No, he was making Old Man in the Sea.
Oh, he was gone already.
And when he came back, I went over to see him, and he stuck his head out. He said, hey, Donald, he said, I sent you a telegram, and you didn't even bother to answer me. And Katie Hepburn stuck her head out. She said, well, he wanted you, damn fool. What's he got to thank you for?
Did you have any notion when you were working on Marty that it would become the phenomenon that
No.
really?
No.
I mean, I guess you really don't know when you're working on a film if it's going to take.
No, you really don't.
Yeah.
It's awful hard to, you know, unless you got a Gone with the Wind or something like that, you know, that's so publicized, so this and that and the other thing that it just carries on through. But Marty was a nothing, and I tell you, the man who really helped Marty and really pushed Marty was the publicity man. His name is Walter Seltzer. And Walter started out by showing the picture to barbers, manicurists, boot blacks, anybody that would watch it. And finally it got to New York, where, you know, people were coming in, and Toots Shore was, there was a great big watering place over there for the Yankees and everything else. And they'd go in and say, hey, have you seen Marty yet? No, well, let's go see Marty. And the first thing you know, bam, it opened and it was a world beater. I won everything that year. I took everything. I took the British Film Academy Award, the Academy Award, the Golden Boot, and everything. And you know, believe believe me, they're still sending me things and saying, "Oh, we want you for this, and we want you, and, you know, what you've done in life and everything else." I said, "Don't bother, send money."
Now, you mentioned a name, you talked about throwing a pitchfork in Lee Marvin's back. You did two of my favorite movies that you did, The Dirty Dozen and Emperor of the North Pole with Lee. Tell us a little bit about Lee Marvin. I know he was a colorful character and great actor.
Colorful. One day he just come back from winning the Academy Award, and we're in England making The Dirty Dozen. And we're sitting up, not sitting, just laying up against a brick wall, getting a little bit of that fresh air and that sunshine that they have occasionally in London. And we're talking back and forth, and this poor guy walked by and he said, "Gee, I wonder what two Academy Award winners have to say to each other." And without missing a beat, he said, "You'll never know." You know, I said to myself, "Don't do that, you know. What are you going to do?" He was that kind of a guy. He called everything bad the way he saw it. And he was a wonderful guy, and he was a great friend of mine. And we worked well together, and that's why we were put together a number of times. But I tell you, from the very first time that I ever met Lee was when I first made my first Western with Randolph Scott. And this great big car came by, and he was sitting in it with a little tiny thing about this kid big, you know, a little briefcase. And I had two great big suitcases because I was from New York, you know. So what the hell are you doing with the suitcases? Well, I said, you know, I'm from New York, and oh, yeah. And from that time on, every time that I'd do a scene, he'd go, and I said, "You rascal," you know. Now, came years later, I've got this picture of him that as a hobo. And I said, "Here, sign this." So he signed it, to Ernie. Love, Randolph Scott. I still got the picture.